UFC Fight Night. Anthony Hernandez versus Michel Pereira. Good little scrap. Good little scrap ahead of us this weekend. I'm going to be breaking down the full card to conclude to that middleweight main event. So we'll go from the first card on the first fight on the card. Sorry, Austin Lena versus Rebelis de Spain. Rebelis de Spain. My God, what the fuck was that guy doing in that last fight? Losing to Waldo Acosta in and he had so much hype. You know what I mean? He's finished every single fight in the first round in his career apart from that one. I think he's gonna get this one done by knockout, to be honest with you. But if you have a bit of money, I probably wouldn't spend it on him because this dude is unfucking reliable as a three-legged chair. So I wouldn't be betting my house on him by any means. But I'm gonna go with the first round KO. Austin Lembas coming off 2 losses, and he's not even gonna win in the UFC. Got a nice little contender series win 2 years ago, but hasn't got a win since. So yeah, I'm gonna go with him on that one. Next up, Melissa Martinez versus Alice Ardeline. A pointless and boring shit fight no one cares about in the women's strawweight division, like every single one of them fights. I'm sorry, I'm just being completely honest here. Women's MMA is just not that good, but Melissa Martinez coming off a loss, what a surprise. She was undefeated up to that point, so I'll give her a bit of credit. But she lost her UFC debut 10 years ago, or fucking 10 years ago, sorry. 2 years ago on the Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson card. Hasn't fought since, had a fight but got cancelled. You know what I mean? So she's clearly not got activity on her side. Alyssa, she's coming off a loss as well to Shannon Bannon, which is unforgivable, to be quite honest with you. But she's been a bit more active, you know what I mean? She's been fighting for a good bit. Neither have got a win in the UFC. So yeah, that kind of shows the level of fucking skill we're gonna go with here. But you know, even though she's been out for a long time, she was undefeated before. I'm gonna go with Martinez on this one simply because, like, Alice she's nearly got a fucking evens record. So, and I just think she's not as dangerous. Like she does have some. She's got a lot of finishes, but losing to Shannon Bannon, that is fucking cat. And I think Martinez is a bit more fucking ability to KO people and finish people. So I'm gonna go her on that one. Next up, Jessica Pena versus Elise Reed. Once again, we have a women's strawweight fight that no one cares about. They're just rolling them out, aren't they, here? Absolutely love it, I do. Elise Reed. She spent most of her fucking career in the UFC, to be fair. So she's got a good bit of experience. Not all have went her way. By all, I mean most of her fights are losses. She's been finished in a good few of her fights as well. Every loss in the UFC has been via finish. So I don't really see this really changing. Jessica Pena, she's got a few wins in the UFC as well, to be fair, but she's coming off 2 losses. And hasn't had a fight in fucking ages. Her last fight that she won was nearly 2 years ago. Carolina, that was a good win. I think she'll get this one done, to be honest with you. I think activity, even though she's not really fucking winning, she's at least fucking in thereabouts. And you know, like I said, this is such an exciting fight that could easily main event the pay-per-view because no one cares. Sorry, everyone cares. Sorry. Next up, we have Jocelyn Edwards versus Tamis Vidal. Another women's bantamweight. This one bantamweight fight that no one cares about. And I'm going to go with Jocelyn Edwards on this one. Jocelyn Edwards seems to be on every fucking fight card ever. But yeah, I'm going to go with her on this one. I think she's just going to be a bit better on the feet. And I can just see her getting into kind of more positions, to be honest with you. She's got a lot of experience as well. And, you know, she's been in the UFC for a while. So I think she'll get this one. Next up, we're actually getting into some okay fights. Brad Katona, the Ultimate Fighter, previous UFC not veteran, but fought in the UFC before. This is a good fight. We got an undefeated fighter here versus someone who's got a lot of experience within the sport. Brad Katona. Brad Katona's kind of been around. Gene Mitsumoto. He's kind of been on an absolute fucking tear throughout his whole career. he looked very good in his debut. He got picked up a guillotine submission. So he's got a lot of experience. He's got a lot of finishes on his record. I think Brackatona's experience could actually play a factor in this fight. You know what I mean? He's got 4 wins in the UFC, 3 losses. He's coming off a win. He's beat people like Cody Gibson. He came to the Ultimate Fighter again. You know, when he got cut, he even won the Ultimate Fighter. You know, he submitted Bryce Mitchell. So this dude's got boatloads of experience. I'm going to go Brackatona on this one. Gian, I know he's undefeated, but still, that really never fucking matters unless it's an absolute whitewash of an opponent. And Brackatona's not in there to lose, I don't think. You know what I mean? He's got experience, he's got skills. Gian has a lot of skills as well, but I think crafty veteran like Brackatona, you know what I mean? I think he's going to get this one done, man. This could be an upset tonight. So yeah, next up, we're up to flyweight, the big boys. Asu Amabayev versus Mateus Nicolau. Mateus Nicolau's been around for fucking ages. He's kind of one of those people that has always been in the kind of top of flyweight, but he's never really pushed on to beat anyone that's insane. Like, he's got a decent win against Male Cape, which was split decision. Tim Elliott, Matt Snell, but he got fucking chinned by Brandon Royval. Lost to Alex Pereira as well, and if you know Alex Pereira, you know that's a bad fucking loss, man. That's a bad loss. Asu, though, you know, he's got a nice win against, you know, fucking CJ Vargas, Ode Osborne. But I don't really like him in this fight, to be honest with you. I really think Mateus Nicolau is more of a flyweight. Like, Asu is absolutely fucking weight drained. It's not even funny. Mateus Nicolau, he's a fucking decision merchant, but he can crack sometimes. He can crack. And I'm going to go with him on this fight. Like, I really value experience in fights. Like, I really fucking value experience in fights. And I think he's going to get this one done, man. I think he's going to get this one done. Probably go with a fucking first or fucking third round, you know, knee up the middle to finish him. Next up, Darren Elkins versus Daniel Pineda. Darren Elkins has 28 fights in the UFC. He's been in the UFC 13 fucking years. 13 years, man. That is fucking insane. You know, he's got finished, but he mainly goes to the judge's decision. He's coming off a good win against TJ Brown, but man, this dude's lost to people like Volkanovski, Ryan Hall. He beat people like Michael Johnson, you know, the absolute GOAT of MMA. But still, I think that's a lot of wear and tear. That's a lot of wear and tear, man. You know, Pineda's been in the UFC since 2012, so it's not like he's fucking new. Okay, it's not like he's new, but he's got way less fights. And I know I value experience, but experience isn't going to do anything when you fucking get your head caved in. So that's why I'm going to go with Daniel Pineda on this one. Now, he is coming off a loss to Nathaniel Wood, which is a bad fucking beatdown that was. Like, he was getting outclassed in that fight badly. And he lost to Alex Caceres, which is really fucking bad. But, you know what I mean? I just think he's a bit more fresh. And, you know, this is another one of those fights where people really don't care. Let's be quite honest with you. It's two veterans going at it. But, yeah, for some reason, these guys are still in the UFC. For some odd reason that nobody asked for as well. Isn't that quite funny? Nobody cares if these guys are in the UFC. But you know, the UFC, they want these crafty vets. Next up, Jake Hadley is going to be taking on Brady Highstand. This is a good fight. I actually like this fight. I like this fight. Jake Hadley proved me wrong moving up to bantamweight against Kaylan Loughran, and he picked up a very good win on short notice on the UFC Manchester card. He was coming off 2 bad losses though to Charles Johnson and Cody Durden, which are not good looks at all. But you know, he's picked up even like Malcolm Gordon. He picked up a nice finish against. So he's got some good wins on his record. He did surprise me in that last fight. He looked way more fresh. I think bantamweight's more of his style. You know, Brady, he's coming off. He's on a bit of a tear at the moment. Three fight win streak, 2 finishes. I'm going to go with Jake Hadley on this one, though, to be honest with you. I just thought Jake Hadley looked good in his last fight. And taking out on short notice as well, I think he's going to have a lot more confidence coming into this fight. I think Jake Hadley's good on the feet. Obviously, he's more of a grappler. But I do think Brady's probably a little bit better on the feet. But I do like Jake Hadley's boxing. But I do like Jake Hadley's kind of ability to control people down. He even beat people like Luke Shanks back in Cage Warriors. That was a good win. Before he was in the UFC, before he was even in the UFC, he picked up a good win against him there. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go with Jake Hadley on this one. I just think he's a bit more. I think he can control him down. Next up, Charles Johnson. Sumaderji versus Charles Johnson. I'm going with Charles Johnson on this one, to be quite honest with you. I'm going to get straight to the fucking point. Sumaderji, he's coming off 2 losses. Tim Elliott, Matt Schnell. I think Tim Elliott is kind of literally the definition of the flyweight gatekeeper. And if you're getting finished by Tim Elliott, that's pretty bad. And Charles Johnson's coming off a fucking sick win over Joshua Van, who I rate highly. Jake Hadley, I mean, that's another loss as well. He has got some bad loss on his record. You know, he lost from Hamza Makayev. That absolute fucking can. That's not even in the UFC anymore. Overday Osborne, Cody Durden. These are fucking bad losses, man. These are bad losses. But he's kind of picked it up again. He's on a nice 3-fight win streak. I think he's going to be able to get this one done. I think he's going to finish him, to be quite honest with you. I'm going to go with a second round kind of right hook to finish this one. So Majaji, like, he's not really that good. Like, he's got some decent wins throughout his kind of UFC career before, but nothing to really stand out, and I just don't really see him beating Charles Johnson, especially with the form Charles Johnson is on. I do like Charles Johnson's style. You know what I mean? He's got good grappling, and I think he's going to be able to get this one done. Next up, my main event. Okay, this is the main event for me. Rob Font versus Kyler Phillips. This is a fucking banger. I love this fight. This is my main event. Rob Font. I was so fucking good for so long. And Rob Font is a massive underdog in this fight. Not massive, but Kyler Phillips, he's the favourite in this fight. I think people forget how good Rob Font's boxing is. You know, I think he's got one of the best jabs. Like, I remember when he was fighting people like fucking Jose Aldo and Cody Garbrandt, like, Rob Font's jab was one of the best things ever. And the dude's got ability to finish people as well. Look at the Adrian Yanez KO. Adrian Yanez was fucking hot shit back then, you know what I mean? He was steaming people, and he was running through that fucking division for a while. But he has picked up a lot of bad losses, Rob Font. Jose Aldo, Marlon Vera, Corey Sandhagen, Figueiredo, which wasn't even that long ago. So it isn't looking good. He welcomed Pereira to the bantamweight division, and it didn't really work out too well for him. Kyler Phillips, I've known about Kyler Phillips for quite a while, and good fighter. He's kind of one of those people, like, I see him on an early prelims or something, I'm like, that's fucking shit. That's fucking shit. As in, that's the fucking shit right there, because dude brings it. Do you know what I mean? He's coming off a nice win against Pedro Munoz, and we all know, if you know, Pedro Munoz is actually quite decent. He's even beaten Song Yadong, which is a fucking great win, because Song Yadong's a fucking beast. You know, probably will be Kyler Phillips. But I can also see Rob Font sticking with the jab and getting this one done. Fuck it, I'm going Rob Font. I'm going Rob Font by decision. He's a massive underdog in this fight, but I think Rob Font might be able to keep this at range. I think Kyler Phillips definitely going to try grapple with him, and we know Rob Font's not the best grappler in the world, but fuck it, I'm going Rob Font in this one. I'm going Rob Font 29-28 decision. He's going to pop and weave, because you know, it's very hard to finish fucking Rob Font. Very fucking hard. The dude's an absolute dog. He's already been finished back in 2017 via submission, so I'm going Rob Font decision on this one. I just think he's going to be able to bob and weave, and I think he's going to be, his jab, man, I'm telling you, his fucking jab is so good, and people forget, man. People fucking forget about this dude. You know what I mean? A couple of bad losses, people will forget. But I think Rob Font, he's not going to get to where he was, unfortunately, and it's a shame because I actually do like Rob Font, but unfortunately, he's not going to get there. But I'm going to go Rob Font decision. Next up, main event time. Michel Pereira versus Anthony Hernandez. This is a very good fight. Two people that don't like seeing the judges' scorecards. Michel Pereira is on an absolute fucking tear. The boy's on like a fucking 8-fight win streak or something like that, and he's got some good wins on his record, man. Anthony Hernandez, he's coming off a second round submission win, and he's on an absolute tear as well. So two people that aren't afraid to finish the fights. He did lose to Kevin Holland. But that was a while ago, and I think he's kind of, you know, he had a lot of fights kind of booked and then cancelled, like a year of that kind of shit happening, and I think he's kind of got his form back going now, Anthony Hernandez, and You know what I mean? But I think Michel Pereira is going to win this one. I think Michel Pereira is going to win this one. I think Michel Pereira is very well rounded. He's got great striking, very elusive, extremely athletic. And he's coming off submission. Like, he's got 2 submission wins, and he's coming off 2 fights, 2 submission wins. Both first round, and he beat Andre Petroski in the first round. I like Michel Pereira in this one. I think Michel Pereira can knock this guy out early. I think I'm going to go to second round Michel Pereira KO, but it's a good fight. Anthony Hernandez can definitely win. I think he's a slight favourite. The bookies have him a slight favourite. I'm not too mad at that, but, I like Michel Pereira in this fight. I won't lie to you, but fight nights, man. We need to talk about fight nights for a second. Fight nights have gone so downhill in the UFC. Like, I was rewatching Yair Rodriguez versus Max Holloway on a fight night the other day. Where are those kind of fight nights? We need to bring back fight nights that are fucking good. Like, people give out that we don't have fight nights in arenas. Like, no one cares. No one wants to see this fucking shit. You know what I mean? Like, Neil Magny versus Carlos Prates. I heard that's a fight night main event. If that is a fight night main event, and Cody Garbrandt's on that fight night, that is a fucking disgrace. Put Cody Garbrandt as a main event over them two. Even, Brandon Moreno versus Amir Abazi, that's a decent fight night card. I look forward to that, but Fight night needs to sort the fuck out. Sort the fuck out, man. We've got 2 good fights on this card. Few good names, but like the only 2, like Rob Font, Kyler Phillips, Michel Pereira, Anthony Hernandez, are good fucking fights. And I'm glad they're on it, but that's my kind of thoughts on the whole card. Let's be honest here, it's pretty shit. It's a regular fight night card. But I break it down anyway. Let me know what you think about my picks and everything in the comments. Thanks for watching.